What did your retiring colonel admit that active duty officers would never say? Colonel Brendan Kellerman was retiring after 32 years. Big ceremony, full dress uniforms, the works. Guy was a legend. 2 combat tours, Bronze Star, commanded 3 different battalions. Everyone wanted to work for Kellerman. He had this reputation for taking care of his soldiers while still getting mission accomplished. His units always had the lowest casualty rates and highest morale scores. I was a captain at the time, worked directly under him for 18 months. Watched him make decisions that seemed brilliant but also confusing. He passed on high-profile assignments, turned down positions at the Pentagon, stay at troop level when he could have been climbing the ranks faster. The retirement ceremony was standard military pageantry until the speech. Usually these things are bland. Thank you for your service, honor and duty, grateful for the opportunity, safe, forgettable stuff. Kellerman started that way. Thanked his family, his mentors, the soldiers he'd served with. Then he paused, looked out at the crowd of officers and enlisted troops, and his whole demeanor changed. I'm going to tell you something I couldn't say until today, he began. Something every active duty officer knows but won't admit out loud. You could feel the tension spike. Generals in the front row shifted uncomfortably. His wife looked nervous. The military promotion system is fundamentally broken, Kellerman said. It rewards people who prioritize their own advancement over their soldiers' welfare, and I've watched good officers destroy themselves trying to play the game. A colonel in the audience actually gasped. This wasn't retirement speech material. This was career suicide, except Kellerman was already leaving. He continued. 15 years ago I had a choice. Take a staff position at division headquarters or stay with my battalion heading to Afghanistan. The staff job was the smart career move. Safe, high visibility, guaranteed promotion to full colonel. But my battalion was about to deploy with a new commander I didn't trust. Guy was a politician, not a leader. Cared more about his efficiency reports than whether his soldiers came home alive. I remember hearing about this. The deployment had been rough. High casualty rates, poor morale, investigations afterward. I requested to stay with my battalion as executive officer, Kellerman said. Essentially demoted myself. My mentor told me I was committing career suicide, that I'd never make colonel if I didn't take the headquarters job. He was right. I spent 3 years in positions below my capability because I'd made the wrong choice for my career. Watched officers junior to me get promoted ahead of me. The room was completely silent now. Even the privates in the back understood they were hearing something rare. But here's what my mentor didn't tell me. Kellerman's voice got quieter, more intense. That deployment I stayed for, we lost 12 soldiers. But the original plan, the one that politician commander wanted to execute, would have killed 40. I know because I was there to stop it. Fought him every single day. Got him relieved of command after 6 months. Saved 28 lives by sacrificing my career timeline. He pulled out a folded paper from his uniform pocket. This is a list I've kept for 15 years. Names of soldiers who are alive right now because I chose them over my next promotion. My throat tightened. I'd never thought about leadership this way. The system punished me for it, Kellerman continued. Took me 8 extra years to make colonel. Missed out on prestigious assignments. Got passed over for commands I deserved. All because I kept choosing soldiers over career advancement. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The officers who get promoted fastest are often the ones who've never had to make that choice. They take the safe jobs, avoid the hard deployments, play the political game perfectly. A major in the front row looked like he wanted to crawl under his chair. Several captains were nodding slightly. I'm not saying everyone who gets promoted is a bad leader, Kellerman clarified, but the system doesn't reward the right behavior. It rewards ambition over character, careerism over sacrifice. So if you're a young officer wondering why you got passed over for promotion, ask yourself this question. Did you make the hard choice to protect your soldiers even when it hurt your career? Because if you did, you're exactly the kind of leader we need. And the fact that the system punished you for it is the system's failure, not yours. He folded the speech and stepped back. The applause was hesitant at first, then building. The enlisted soldiers were clapping loudest. The generals looked uncomfortable but joined in. After the ceremony, a 3-star general pulled Kellerman aside. I was close enough to overhear. That speech was inappropriate, the general said quietly. You criticized the entire promotion system in front of junior officers. Kellerman smiled. Yes, sir. That's why I waited until I retired. 3 weeks later, I got called to a meeting with that same 3-star. Thought I was in trouble for being associated with Kellerman's speech. Instead, the general asked me, did Kellerman ever tell you about the list? The soldiers he saved? Only at the ceremony, sir. The general pulled out his own folded paper. I have one too. 43 names. Every time I chose my soldiers over my career. Cost me 2 promotions and probably a star. He looked me dead in the eye. Kellerman's speech was inappropriate. It was also the most important thing said on this base in 20 years. Don't forget it. That conversation changed everything for me. 2 years later, I faced my own choice. High-profile joint task force or stay with my company heading to a dangerous deployment. I stayed with my company. Got passed over for major the first time. But 3 years after that, Kellerman sent me a letter. Single sentence. Welcome to the list. Enclosed was a photo. 37 soldiers from my company, alive and smiling at a reunion. All because I'd learned what retiring colonels know but active duty officers can't say out loud.